Hey folks, welcome to the latest edition of PBS 2.0 as I try and give you techniques that'll work, make a successful Christmas bid. Christmas bidding, welcome to PhD level bidding. There are specific issues that make the Christmas bid particularly difficult, and this year it's even worse than normal with Christmas falling during the week. But let's first do a bidding technique review. So remember, the first idea that I've been teaching you is to bid months, not trips. You are going to get a calendar. You're not going to get a collection of trips. They've got to work together. So, pardon me, when you're designing your bid, you've got to think, what's the entire month? So, failing to see the entire board in chess, that will cause you to lose. Masters see the whole board. Players just go move by move. So I want you to do the former, not the latter. You need to review the flight time requirements to determine how to bid that particular month. Each month is unique. Some months set themselves up for 4 4-day trips. Some months set themselves up for multiple smaller trips because there's a lot of flying during the week in 5 different weeks. Each month is different. So you have to determine how much flying do I need to do and what trips can I normally hold, and then how can I put them together in a pattern that's successful for my day off requirements, because remember, your best life is at home. Draw out the current month, the bid month, and the subsequent month. Only by doing that can you stay ahead of issues that may come up if you don't look that way. Remember, Christmas falls on the same day of the week as the New Year's holiday. So whatever choices you make on Christmas Day, they're going to affect what's going to happen in the month of January, where there's the New Year's holiday and the President's holiday, or the Martin Luther King holiday. Take your time creating bid group 1. Bid group 1 should only have a handful of trips, maybe a dozen at most. It should be what you would choose if you were number 1. If you can't determine what that bid group should look like, if you were the most senior in the domicile, you haven't learned to bid yet. That bid group 1 then forms the foundation of every subsequent bid group. I'll often lock those trips to make sure that they always are going to show up in my bid if they're available at my seniority. Add trips slowly to each subsequent bid group in descending priority. So my first bid group, I'm bidding H5s and H4s, and then I'm going to add H3s in bid group 2, H2s in bid group 3s and 4s. You get the idea. I'm 31% the G line, so I'm going to need to add 1 to 2% of the trips available in each bid group. So by the time I'm getting into the high teens in bid groups, I've got about 25 to 30% of the trips participating. I can maybe go a little bit slower than that if I'm willing to fly a weekend or weekend touch. Be flexible on what trips to fly. Don't bid the same trip every month because that's what you do. Look for the uniquenesses in every bid package, especially in holiday months. Not all things are the same. You know, in the 7-5 domicile in Washington, Dublin's 4 days once. It's on the 23rd. So if you want to take your family to Dublin on the 23rd, get 4 days of pay and holiday pay to boot, you could do that. Look for those uniquenesses because it might be something that you're interested in doing. And remember, touch weekends only if necessary, because if you're awarded them, likely you're going to fly the trip. And then finally, bid to match your trading strategies. If you very, very much need to make a Christmas party on a Saturday, I'd take the crappiest trip in the domicile that gets back Friday night. Don't play the game, or Saturday morning, don't play the game of trying to get a high quality trip Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and think, oh, when trip trading opens up, I'll just trade it for something during the week. That's called trading for seniority. I call that a Disney wish. That's a wish your heart makes. It sounds like it might work. It doesn't work very well. Christmas. What are the December challenges themselves? Christmas is not the only holiday. You have the Kwanzaa and Hanukkah, and you just have other holidays going on. But it is the only holiday that pays. So behavior around the Christmas holiday will affect you whether or not that's something that you really are going to try and maneuver around or not. The eve and the parties. Yeah. By the time you throw in Christmas Eve, it ends up being a double day that you're trying to protect. And then you throw in the idea that Christmas holidays are generally on the weekend and Christmas isn't this month. This is going to be tough. Don't forget the New Year's holiday, as I mentioned. Whatever you choose on Christmas may directly affect your ability to go to a Christmas Eve party. Mason month issues. December will always end on the 29th of December. It has my entire career. It typically has the 30th of November that goes with it. So it's a 30-day holiday, so day off requirements are favorable to the company, not to you. This year, the holiday's in the middle of the week. Ugh. I normally fly Wednesdays and Thursdays, as do most of the senior people. We're going to need to bid around those 2 days. So we may be picking weekend flying either early in the month or just after the holiday. So you might be used to thinking, oh, yeah, sure, Edinburgh is going to be available on a Friday, and it's going to be gone because somebody above you took it in order to ensure that they had that pattern that matched having time off during a week later in the month. Front loading? Sorry, we all thought of it. You're going to think, oh, I'll just load all my flying front half of the month. Remember PBS's goal. It has to give out all the flying and has to look ahead to build ahead. And, people have been pushing back about seniority abrogation. It is. It will ignore its ability to give you a trip if it thinks it's going to create a problem for it to evenly give out flying later in the month. December is particularly notorious at this issue as seniority gets shifted a bit late in the month because it just can't give everybody 4 days of flying or 4 trips flying after the 15th of the month. It's going to need to spread stuff out. So in that kind of a situation, you're going to end up with some of the junior people with only 1 trip in the first half of the month and 3 trips in the back half. Holiday pay or not holiday pay? That's the question. Some of you at 50% or lower, you may want to think the question of, well, what if I open Christmas presents with my kids on Christmas morning and then I go do that late London that leaves at 10 o'clock at night on the 400 and pays well? Maybe I'll try and do that. Remember, there might be other people thinking about that. So don't think that just because you're volunteering to fly in the evening of the 25th, you're going to get it. Now, you pick the worst trip on the domicile on the 23rd. I think we'll let you have that. So that's a whole different issue. But remember, holiday pay isn't a slam dunk that you'll get it because you're volunteered to touch the holiday. It shifted the dynamic in terms of bidding. Determine your day off needs. I'll do the same. I'm going to try and post. I know it's the 8th. I had a lot going on last week, but I'm going to try and post my initial bid video tonight and another one tomorrow on Sunday. So during football, maybe we can all look at it. And that should give you at least 24 hours ahead of the bid close to try and tweak stuff. I hope you're enjoying these. Again, put your comments on YouTube, and we'll try and get to those comments and questions as we can. It's difficult for me to look at individual bids. I mean, there's 18,000 of us. So try and have a little mercy on how much I can look at your individual bid, but I love the questions. So enjoy this video, draw out your calendars, and let's get ready to bid.